Well, there you are again. Charlie Greer podcast today. So perhaps again, that'll be the theme for today. How's everybody's Friday? I look extra haggard when I don't shave, but here I am live streaming again. So, yeah, perhaps again. Last week I did a live stream. Crime is strange. I think that's what I call it. And if you want to support the shit show, which is my podcast, Cash App, Charlie Greer Podcast. That's my handle. Again, Cash App, Charlie Greer Podcast. I appreciate it. I'll use that for beans and biscuits, or maybe a new laptop, perhaps. Well, we shall see. So today, uh, so going on. Let's see what I can chit chat about. See, I come from this. I love Howard Stern. I don't. I riff. I don't write stuff down. I don't have any of these programs with spawned windows and this, that, and the other. And I don't want to be too personal, but I like to just kind of start riffing. So with me, let's see what happened. Okay, so I've been selling some gear. And gear, I mean like my musical gear. Uh, okay, my Steve Vai head. I had a 100-watt tube Steve Vai head, Carvin Legacy. That's what it's called. That was a half trade. So what that means is I took half on trade and half cash. And I got I got a great little amp. It's a combo amp. I usually wouldn't even be caught dead with the crate. It's a crate, but it's made in USA, and it's a Vintage Club 20, I think they're called. It was called the Vintage Club series. And they had some guy, I forgot his name. They had him design the amp. Anyway, they nailed it with these little amps. It's tube. I think the cabinet is made out of pine. This thing's heavy, and they nailed it. It sounds like a really warm Marshall. So it's 20 watts tube, 10-inch speaker. Love it. Again, I don't think I've ever owned a crate, but this one I like. And I knew about these Vintage Club series. They're around in the early 90s, so I think this is like about 30 years old. So I took half cash, half trade for this amp. And then what, about 2 weeks ago, I sold my Johnny Thunders guitar. Johnny Thunders, one of my favorite guitars. I had this like custom built by a luthier, if you will. Johnny Thunders replica. And Johnny played like a 1958 Les Paul Jr. TV yellow. People think, oh, it's a 58, 59. Who knows? But big fat neck. I actually have a video. I think a couple videos with this guitar. It was my baby, but I'm not playing anymore, and I wanted to see pass it on. Because I'm not doing much as far as creative. No. And I probably won't. I probably will never gig again. How many more gigs do I have to do? Kind of thing. So I sold that to a cool person. I'm glad it's in good hands because they seem like really cool. So, and I lowballed it. I mean, I got some cash out of it, but originally whoever the poor bastard was that had that commission, because you have to, I think he's like $4,000 that made. And it said Gibson on the head. It wasn't a real Gibson. It had a real Gibson veneer in the Gibson. It's a veneer on the headstocks, and so it had a real veneer, but it wasn't a real Gibson. It was it was a guy out in the San Gabriel Valley, LA, that we used to work for, like Charvel Jackson, and one of these dudes, and they do like bootleg stuff on the. I don't blame them, like their side hustle is to make replicas for people that you can't put them in stores, and you got to know somebody to even talk to the guys about doing it because they might lose their job or get sued by Gibson. So, but it was good to me, and I'm glad it's in better hands. Let's see what else. Um, Yeah, as far as like selling gear, that's about it. I've got more gear that I'm selling. Because if you don't, I've said this before on my podcast. I used to sell a lot of stuff, a lot of gear. I mean, that was like part of my what I did was just sold a ton of gear. I do buyouts. I would like somebody's music store closing. I just take it all. Well, not all, but guitar wise, that is. I don't want any keyboards or drums. Um, it's Friday. I'm having a beer. Oh, so I might as well explain. I'm changed up my life. I was doing my podcast every day, living in this small town, little small apartment, doing my podcast every day. Um, well, I'm not doing that anymore. So I shit showered and shaved and changed my life. So I'm having a beer. I have beers on Fridays. But yeah, I've got like a real job now, like 9 to 5. Well, Monday through Friday, that is. Pardon me. And this week was rough. One of these days I'll tell you what I'm doing. Today's not the day. So yeah, have you ever had a job where you love it, but you also hate it? There's stuff that you love about it. Like, God, I love this job. And you're like, son of a blah, blah. That's that kind. And getting around to like, well, I haven't been painting, but since I've painted for so long and I've got like a cachet of paintings, um, so I've been wanting to kind of put my feelers out to do some art shows. Let's see who it is. I got someone here. Indie Pan. Is that Indie Pan? And my eyesight. Good thing I got my glasses with me here. Indie Pam. Hey Charlie, good to see you. Hey Indie Pam, good to see you too. Thank you for joining me. It's just you and me, Indie Pam. It's a lonely world, the Charlie Greer podcast. Uh, so yeah, I kind of fiddling around to do some art shows. Uh, again, I have a cachet of how many? I got a stack of paintings. I left behind when I left LA last year. I left a ton of paintings. I don't want to think about it. Some of them were big. Whatever. I'll paint more. I left a lot of gear. 2 half stacks, like with the head and the cab, 2 of them. My roommate's like, "Oh yeah, I think I will buy one." I haven't heard from him. Matter of fact, he's never contacted me again. And it's weird how you. This is the thing when you um get in a situation like this is how I think. Like if I'm, would you do the same for me? Meaning, I rented you a place, I gave you a home. Would you do that for me? Would he? No, I guess not. You know. And also, I was doing so many trading. I actually gave him a guitar. I'm gonna stop doing that because when I'm doing good and when I have friends, hey take this. A lot of times I'll get stuff for free in trades or whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Uh, Never gave me a guitar and never paid me for the gear that I like. He was because I told him I said, look, you can have all this for like $500. One cabinet was worth more than that. Never heard from. Never had you get. Did you get to the Midwest? Say none of that. Not a text. Not even. This is. I can't see, man. What the? It sucks getting old, losing your eyesight. Tina, hi Charlie. Hey, hello Tina. Well, there you are again. So, kid, what's up, kid? How are you? All you guys are old school people with me. You've been around for a while. So, but yeah, I've been fiddling around, wanting to do art shows. Not gonna do any band stuff. It's just, um, the world that I kind of grew up in, and I was like, the rock and roll uh, is dead in my. I mean, you get old and you move on. That happens to everybody. Like your scene or whatever it is, you're gonna. It's and look at me. I'm an old man. And how much more rocking and rolling do I have to do? You know what I mean? Shit. Yes, you are old school. And let's see what else. My book. I've had people reach out to me My book, Rant of the Bad Man. I know that I think Kid bought a copy. And yes, my book came out. Matter of fact, it's gonna in August or no October. I think it'll be 20 years when my book came out. It came out in 2003. Um, I was so excited when my book came out. So they had the release date, shipped me a box of like first edition, all this promotional stuff and this, that, and the other. And we're all excited. Then we found out Elliott Smith had died. We're like, oh God, like as we're celebrating the release of my book, everybody at the time, I lived in a condo in Reseda with like a bunch of artists and stuff. Elliott Smith, and I hate to laugh, but Elliott Smith, and I didn't know Elliott personally. I'd seen him around, but I like, he was a great musician, artist, whatever. And so I've had people reach out to me about trying to help them get a first edition, which I can't help. I don't have. I wish I would have held on to some of those. I didn't. I didn't think anybody would give a shit. They're going for like, I've seen it 800, 1,000. I mean, I don't know if I'd pay that. For one, it's only like about 70 to 100 pages. It's more like a pamphlet of, a ne'er-do-well's story. But yeah, I'll sign it for you. Perhaps. Okay, perhaps. Ray Bradbury, back in the day, showed up to one of I used to do book signings, believe it or not. And fucking Ray Bradbury was in line, like Ray Bradbury. We signed my book with Ray Brad. Are you kidding me? Like, you sure? One of the best nights of my life. It was him and like Rory Ackerman, I think his name is. He had Famous Monster magazine. These guys were old by then. And I couldn't believe that he knew about my book. But I was at the time, this is around 2006. So it came out 2003, 2006. People underground, hipster kind of thing. Ray Bradbury showed up, and but it was in Burbank. It wasn't like he happened to be. The signing was in Burbank, California. He lived in Burbank at the time, so when I go, what the? How did you? He's like, oh yeah, I keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on, and he's I complained that they haven't paid me. He's like, dude, welcome to my, that's why I like you. You're this, that's how I know you're good is when they're ripping you off. They've never paid me. My book, it's been out 20 years. God knows how many I've sold. Never got paid. I own the movie rights, so and I've pitched the movie. What it is, it's an option. So, like, say I haven't written a script for my book, and no one else has. Listen, I don't know about it, but so you option that. So it's an option. So they're going to buy the movie rights to your book. It's like a 3-tier payment, so that you'll get the option. They'll give you a lump of money. If it goes into production, you get another lump, and then something you get on the back end. If that's the deal, it could be a buyout, meaning they'll be like, "Hey, man, here's X amount of dollars. You're out of the picture." I mean, I would never do that unless they could offer me, but I'd want some back end. It's not what people think, like the creative world. I think I've explained this before, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news or bust people's bubbles. So once you're famous, like say you're an actor or a musician or whatever, you sign you get signed or your paperwork, whatever the hell it is. I got a contract, whatever it is. So what you're signing, what that does, it turns you into an LLC, a limited liability corporation. Your name, your image, all that stuff. You're basically like a washing machine or a skateboard or a frying pan. You don't, you might get a percentage of what you make them, but you are owned. You're a product. They own you. I don't think people understand that. Nobody talks about it. So you become this limited liability corporation, and you will even, like, oh, a movie star, he's worth all this money. He's not, or she, or whoever. It's the corporation that's in their name. See, it's like a straw man kind of thing. Your name is a product. And yes, you might live in mansions, you might have Bentleys, this, that, and the other. They're all in these corporate names. that have your name on, but you don't own the corp. You know what I mean? You don't, I mean, like say Tupac, when he died, he was Tupac. He had #1 albums and movies and this, that, and the other. Man, after he died, his mother went to his estate, and he had $7,000 in a bank. 7,000. Yet he was living in a mansion, yet wasn't his, because he signed away. That's what it is, man. I'm sure he was on payroll. They'll give you cat, there's, but yeah, it's not what you think. So I never did that. Jeff Jones, good to see you, Jeff Jones. So I never, once I figured out what the game was, I'm like, fuck you. That ain't gonna be me. I'd rather fail than, because it's, and then they want you to create. See, under that umbrella of misery, who could create? Not Charlie Greer. And it was sad to be my naivete. I was so naive to think that, like, I didn't know how the real world operated. But yeah, you become an LLC, a limited liability corporation. So if anything does come back to them, well, they can just, like, that's why when these big stars die, their kids don't get anything, because it's the corporation owns everything. Who owns the corporation? Some kind of weird, like, it was years ago. But I finally was trying to figure out my publishing, because I was been in multiple bands, albums. It's a shit show trying to figure that stuff out, and they don't sell. They're out of print. It ain't like I'm trying to, brag, but trying to get my publishing together. Like, what did I see? I've got all these songs, I was with ASCAP when I was in Love Engineer. Then my solo stuff was BMI. So I was with BMI. So we're trying to figure this stuff out. That's when I found out that the BBC owns part of my publishing. Like, what the fuck? I've never been to a meeting with anybody from the BBC, British Broadcasting Company. Matter of fact, it's not in the BBC, it's the BBC Two. I didn't know there was a BBC Two. BBC Two. Well, yeah. Well, what do they own? Like, matter of fact, I don't even know what they're listed on my publishing. Like, what the fuck? Who are these mystery thieves? And why would they want my shit that doesn't make any money? Or does it? So and then you try to, we'll get a lawyer. Was it go get a lawyer? Well, you sit down with a lawyer. I need a retainer. $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month. I don't make that kind of money. Well, yeah. Or they'll go, oh, yeah, we'll do a contingency deal, meaning contingent to they need money. Well, then they own everything. Get a lawyer, right? In the art world, I was trying to tell somebody, like, in other artists. So same thing with art, the gallery owner and stuff. I got to the point where I could do bigger shows, and a lot of times, if you're lucky, it's 50-50 deal, meaning the gallery's gonna, or whoever is taking 50%, whatever. Then out of your 50%, they pay and they charge you the night. If to rent the fucking gallery that they own, they charge you a rent. Then all the promotional deals and this, that, and the other, whatever, and all the wine they've got, and all this horse shit. And there were times, and this is true, where I would sell a painting or for $5,000 or what, because they would raise my price. Like, wow, I'm going to be making money. Sell a painting for $5,000 and I owe money. What? Huh? Well, yeah. We had to put up all those flyers and postcards, and hey, this limo isn't free. Like, what limo? What the fuck? I wasn't in the limo. I was. Yeah, I bet you were. People don't want to tell you because they want to, like, yeah, here, I'm famous, I'm this. Dude, it's not what you think. Yes, you can dilly-dally around a few, and then you ask yourself, like, why do these bands, they have to. They're owned. They're and that's why I pulled back. That's why I never, and thankfully I do have ownership in some of I never signed anything. I used to pay lawyer anytime they'd offer me. So you have to pay these lawyers like $300 an hour, and just to read over this contract. It's worded all great. It's in they're master linguists. They can switch it around where you sign it, and then a lot of these lawyers are on the take. You become calloused and jaded, and you're like, "What the? Who the hell? I just want to be an artist. I want to create. Leave me be." No. See, you're a cash register. They want ding. They want to, take the. But you are famous. The famous Charlie. Oh my God. Well, that's the thing. I'm more notorious. People know, but the money never. Uh, I think I've told this before because there's always, I've done like interviews with, and then people, you mentioned that you work, and they're like, you work, you got a job? Yeah, I got a job. I got to pay my rent. Well, you're Charlie Greer. Yeah, well, fuck, I got a job. Yeah, I'm not. I was doing an interview out of Manchester, England, back in the day, and they're like, we can't believe that you're not. Yeah, they're like, they play you on the radio around here. Like, radio? Seriously? I got contacted back in the day. Fucking it's like Italy, Sicily. Like I was getting played on the radio. Not, I didn't get any money. You find out that they press more than they say. Like, oh, we're going to press a couple thousand copies, throw it up against walls, see if it sticks. That's that. And you find out that more than, Matter of fact, when I moved to LA, I'd left Love Engineer in '94. I moved and I quit Love Engineer. I worked for my family for 4 years at our antique dealership, and then I moved to LA in '98. So from '94 to '98, I wasn't in Love Engineer. Then when I got to LA, hell, people were like, "Oh my God, Charlie Greer!" It's like, well, you know who the fuck I wish I should have left sooner. I would have if I'd have known. I just didn't know. This is kind of before the internet clicked up. It's right before, when dial up. And my first roommate in Los Angeles, when I read, he had my album. Like, where did you buy this? It was in the store. It was the store. What store? Oh well, it could have been worse. Immediately, I'd been there maybe 2 months. I put an ad out saying I'm putting bam. The first Sean from the Asexual show. Huh? What? See, I was already juiced in. I swear I didn't know this. I did not know. I knew in the Midwest, I knew that I had a name, but not. And I knew, again, I did know that we'd done interviews from LA to New York when Love Engineer was popping up. And when I say popping up in our little world, and I knew they promoted, we were getting some promotion, and I knew we got a little airplay. Not, we weren't, but you didn't, you don't think you have, and maybe I'm naive, or maybe I'm just gullible. I didn't know. I had fans and people that immediately drop right into the LA scene. Because I was accepted. I already had a lineage of like, well, you had your shit. Like, really? I guess so. A lot of hard work. You don't think maybe I was just too hard. I worked so hard and hungover. There's a lot of drinking going on. Pardon me. But yeah, perhaps again, some of these things will happen. In my mind, I would take with my book, the standard, like the low, I know the number. I'm not going to say it, but it's a pretty big number. I would accept that. I wouldn't fight just so that I know that. But I'd want more on the back end. I'd take less advance and then want more percentage on the back end. So that way they, because you want money coming in. You want to earn. You just don't want to like do a buyout. And here you go. Here's X amount. Bye. Never see you. And that's as old as time. I mean, I was watching something about the old school Hollywood system, and Boris Karloff. He was in Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein. For one, He was Hindu. He lied and changed his name to Boris Karloff. It was a Russian name because at the time Russian actors were a thing. So he didn't want his like bing bong, whatever the fuck his name was. He was Hindu at the time. Nobody hired, so he lied. Um, he was basically an extra for fucking 20 years in LA before then he got this gig because he was tall and lanky, Frankenstein. When it first came out, they didn't think it would do that. He was listed as the monster. Then he put his name. Matter of fact, at the premiere in this documentary I watched, the premiere, he wasn't even allowed in. All right. So this goes back to what I'm talking about. This is before I was even born, but he didn't even allowed in. Now, then it popped off. Like, what the frig is that? He had to renegotiate, hey, I'm a big star, I'm sure he had to become an LLC too. Of course, he's making more money. It's not what you think. Nowadays, like with the bands, like you have to it's all Live Nation or whatever they want to call that. They these and all these bands selling their publishing, damn right, because you're an earner. You have to, you bought the ticket, you got to take the ride, Well, I'm having a slow year. Fuck you, slow year. You better you. Oh, did any of you guys? Because I know I got some Delphi people in here. It was at Fig Solves this week. I watched because I don't really follow the Delphi as much as because I'm busy doing other stuff. But Fig Solve posted this woman, her Shakespeare woman. She did a documentary or a documentary about the Delphi. It was in 2018 or 2019, but it was never released. And he posted it. Fig Solves. I go out there and watch it. I watched that this week sometime. Blown away by she's good. Did any of you guys see that? Tina, yes. He did. Hannah Shakespeare, that's her. So he did. I have to watch that too. So he did a live with her. I love that documentary. I love how she was going at Tobe. And she was interviewing people that I didn't know anything about. Granted, I'm not the Hefe on the Delphi, but there was a guy that was an older dude who said he was always talking to Liberty. Yeah, shit. So you guys did see that? What do you think? And then Liberty's mother, when she's like, they never, that really, again, that makes me think that my thought pattern is right on what's going. I felt so bad. Yeah, I did too, Tina. She's never even seen a police report, huh? Like, it's a police report. You release that to the public. By law, you're supposed to. Yeah, wasn't that And they were like, well, she, they were saying like she lost custody of the kids or her kid, but this is the thing. Didn't what was his name? Her husband have more of a record than her? I don't know. It just seems that like she's the mother, man, and pray for them and those kids. That was eye opening to me. It made me, man, what's going on in that county? What's going on in Delphi? What do you guys think? Yeah, he does, doesn't he? What is I don't know. I hate to mention the family, you know what I mean? Because it's shit what they're going through. But they could be under some kind of, dealing with some things that they don't want to talk about. Him, her, everybody. I thought that was strange. Because I've said, when I've done videos on the Delphi where we're not being told, and they've never released. Okay, well, no autopsy report. Yeah, okay, but the police report. That's public knowledge, man. You understand that we pay their salaries and stuff. I mean, not me, but we're the public. They get all from their taxes. The people paying taxes, and there's laws. So obviously, they had to go to judges to get see. Why is it sealed? Even before it got popular with the public, this was going on. I mean, I can see now where like it's a world known thing where everybody knows about the Delphi all over the world. There's people that have podcasts about it, and it's doesn't surprise me, Jeff Jones. Doesn't surprise me that they treated Kerry the cops for you. Yeah, Jeff. I've been kind of, and I think this is the thing. It's a nepotism, favoritism, cronyism. I've always said this. It goes back to people and their psychology, where a certain type of person, we're like, don't you tell me what to do. And they're just nanny boo boo, like nanny, I ain't telling you. Ooh. Yeah, the cops are covering for something or someone. Period. Yeah, Jeff Jones. That's what yeah. I don't know what it is. History tells us, like that people are, not everybody, usually the higher echelon, like the top tier, I don't know. I really like the Hannah Shakespeare documentary, was good. And thank you, Fig Solves. I don't know I don't know him, but yeah, great job. He's doing good work. The Brotherhood. I've heard that. I know that there's a lot of crime in Indiana, a lot of cartel too. That's a strange thing. Cartel, what the? But yes, yeah, you don't want to fuck around. Again, crime is strange. I would suggest watching last Friday. I did a stream about crime. They don't tell you. A lot of times, what you'll do is you'll be on the take. Like, hey, you want some extra money? Okay, what? I got to tell you what's going on. You're told what to do. Yeah, get in line. Get back in line. Shut up, and that kind of stuff. But then it was, hey, by the way, we're getting none of that. Goes back to what I was just talking about, even with the entertainment world. I don't like to be told what to do. I need a lot of leave alone, meaning my personal. I don't want managers and this and that and the other thing and all think tanks and none of that. I'm could be, man. Indie Pam could be. Yep. Don't want to say too much. I was asked to join Indie Pam. Such groups, if you, perhaps. I mean, this is my humble opinion. Maybe I'm telling a fib. That's how I got to say this. But yeah. Then I went and talked to what at the time was who I was, the power instructor I was low level on the, and they're like, no, you don't want to, do you want your own life? Yeah. Do you want to be waking up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and not knowing what you're doing and meet somebody you've never met and just going to, you don't know what's going, and then they tell you none of that. No. I didn't need, and also money. I don't want somebody to put me in a position where, also I just need enough money not to think about money. Like people think money, man, the more money you got, the more worries you have. Like, yeah, you got some money. I bought a new truck. Well, then you're worrying if you scratch the truck or whatever, or like in my world, guitars. Like, I just bought a $50,000 guitar. Well, if that thing falls and breaks, now it's worth like $5,000. It's like you don't want a bunch of shit around you, man. You kind of want to be like a Buddhist. You just want to like be in your mind. You don't want all these tangibles, that you have to worry about. I want a big house. The fucking upkeep on a house. If you've ever, it's endless. Endless. You got to pay everybody just on the low level of. I got to have somebody every month mow my lawn, unless you're going to mow it, and then the water heaters and even more. I don't think there's things that are shady. Let's just put it that way. There's a. Because I don't like to say a lot. For one, I'm not a snitch. I don't dry snitch, and also the shit will come back at you. But I think so. I think that as far as watching the Fig Solves, what he posted, the Hannah Shakespeare documentary, why wasn't that released? Why would they? Was it 2019 where she shot that, or 2018 or something? Man, Tobe was really uncomfortable. He wouldn't used to be talked to that way, which proves to me that he's a crony, nepotism, whatever you want to call it, favoritism, all that. And they all have that same kind of overweight, kind of, braggadocious. Yeah, man. Really? I will. When I get some time, I will, Tina. I will watch the live stream. And I think I've watched some of Fig Solve stuff before, years ago, maybe. Hasn't he been around for a while? The network went in a different route. Of course they did. Well, we're shifting gears. Going in a new direction. Yeah. Okay. Indy Pam says, Hannah said she really doesn't know why it wasn't released. She was told Lifetime wasn't going to go with the true crime. See, why would they, something about this Delphi thing is connected to other things, probably not even involved in, but there's something delicate and sensitive going on there. I don't know what it is. But who would make that decision? Who makes that phone call? Well, see, we gotta. Well, this is why they'd finance it, Indy Pam, so you can control the narrative. Yeah, that's what they do. Watch out. People come with you with friendly faces. And haven't you ever watched The Godfather? When he survived he survives the first Godfather, where he survives the shooting and almost kills him. And he's telling his son, the person that comes to you, the first one that's friendly, whatever, they're the one. And that's true. That's some deep shit. You need to live your life by that. Take a fucking page out of that. Because everyone thinks he's going to be mean or no, it's these friendly people. And sometimes there's layers of that. So people that are they won't even know they're set up too. Crime is Strange. Watch my podcast last week. It's a bunch of crazy shit. And this goes back to like Egypt, Babylonian. We're human. They do the same shit. Nothing under the sky is fucking. We do the same old stuff. Humans do the same shit. To control the narrative. So why would they finance it? Like, okay, with Love Engineer, we got some financing. We were so excited. Yeah, we got some financing through A&M Records at the time. And it was called Artist Development. They don't have that anymore. So, oh my God. And that's what got our exposure. Wow, you think that, and then we knew something was up. Like, why and then we couldn't talk to anybody else because we'd taken some money. And then you're like kind of on well, I found out years later that, and this is true. So Soundgarden was a big band at the time, and they were on A&M Records. So what these labels will do, A&M will sign up anybody that's giving them competition and shelf them. And it's a tax write-off. That's how the record industry, come on. It was and I had people that got fired from A&M later contacted me like, dude, sorry. And they thought I knew. Shelving? Well, that's part of the business. You get a band, it's popping off. You sign everybody that's going to be competitive to their competition, and you just shelf them. It's good business, and it's cheap. Give them $100,000. Yeah, let them record their album, then shelf it or whatever, or let them demo stuff for a year. Yeah. Happened to me. Happened to the Love Engineer. You don't think along those lines. These people are business people, man. They got like lawyers, like a lot of them. And that's what killed any kind of creative. That's why we're living in the creative dark ages right now. There's just so much of that you can do. And then you're left with this like quagmire of fucking bullshit. A colossal, mediocre. If you were lucky, it's mediocre. Um, and then people are so narcissistic. Pardon me, it's not just me that happened to. There's a ton of people. They don't want to say they failed or they got, I'm not. I mean, yeah, you. They end up doing something else. That's what I did. I might talk about it. It's like, dang, they got me. Shit. I wasn't sophisticated. I was in my early 20s. I didn't know. Then once you've dealt with this kind of cycle of manipulation and thievery and stuff like that, try to be creative. That's it. That's part of one of the spokes in the wheel. They know that too. Once you know it, it just sucks your creativity. You don't want to, thrill is gone. Think of all the blues artists that like like the Rolling Stones. They're named after a Muddy Waters song. Okay. They covered Muddy Waters songs. All that's how they popped off in the early 60s. He was, matter of fact, when the Stones met Muddy Waters, they went to Chicago. He was painting the fucking building of the recording studio. They're like, what? They got they didn't know at the time. Like, what? Why is he? Then they had to, and you bought the ticket, take the ride, man. Now you are, whether you know it or not, you are us. You're just the face of, again, LLC. You're the limited liability corporation, which is, shit. Yeah. And then they got to go out there for decades and like, hey, here I am, like act happy. They probably want to. Okay, so then they do it to other people. See, it's almost like when you abuse a kid, then they become abusive. I was watching this documentary about Peter Tosh, and Peter Tosh was in a band with Bob Marley called the Wailers, and then they were popular. Then they broke up, and they all did their solo. Bob Marley became, Peter Tosh, and so Peter Tosh signed with Rolling Stone Records. Rolling Stone Records had their own imprint under Atlantic, okay, in the 70s. What the Rolling Stones do? They ripped off Peter Tosh. He was threatening to kill him with a machine gun. I mean, shit. Google, go to YouTube. Fuck. Shit. Let's see what's going on here. 2 different people from his Wi-Fi. What does that mean? Is that with the Delphi, you mean, Pam? Any Pam? 2 different people from his Wi-Fi? Any Pam, they could tell it was 2 different people because of the wording. You think they would know with the Delphi? You think they would know more with the Wi-Fi and the phones and the stuff they found? Wouldn't they know? Like when I was watching that documentary, Hannah Shakespeare said that she had done some investigation and she saw one of the last posts of I think Libby, and a guy had posted like something on one of those, and then when she found it was an older dude, like in his 40s or 50s, that's got a bad, record, that was in contact. But then they I don't know. You guys remember that part? I've never heard that. Like, shit. How many creepers are around there? How many people? Is there only like 20,000 people in Delphi? I don't even know. Or is there that many? Is it like, who knows? Or is it like 20,000 people in the county? I don't know. It's not that big. It's a small little. And believe me, they're not criminal masterminds. It's something else. Kid said those types of creepers are everywhere online. Yeah, shit. Delphi has a ton of predators. Sad. Yeah, everywhere. Sad. Yeah. These people are, and a lot of these people are in positions of power. That's how they got into positions of power. They are good at fucking with people. And I don't get it, man. That drive, because you have to have a drive. Like, you have to be like inspired to do things. What the fuck is that about? Like, can't they write poetry or paint? No, they want to. It goes back to what I said my last podcast about crime is strange. It's like these people, their sexuality. There's some dark shit. Is anybody normal anymore? What the fuck? Jeff Jones said, yeah, that Wi-Fi thing is crazy. During KK's investigation, during the murders, he was at Travis Trexler's house, but he did not want to admit it. Why? Exactly. I don't know. 3,000 people in Delphi. Only 3,000 people in Delphi? Fuck it, 3,000. Fuck. That's right. I forget. Wow. So everybody knows everybody. I'm from a town around that size in Tennessee. You can't, everybody knows. Come on, man. I keep forgetting that, how small it is. That's sad. And people know, and they're scared to say anything, or they've moved away. I mean, and Travis Trexler, why hasn't he been? So the Wi-Fi pinged at his. So KK Wi-Fi during this time pinged at his house. Is that what you guys are saying? I think I heard that too. But outside his house, like somebody with a phone or a tablet or what laptop was, huh? I go to concerts bigger than, yeah, right? I've played more than 3,000. That's not even a big gig. Shit. The most I've ever played in front was like 80,000 on the quad of the University of Illinois. The quad is like this outdoor, it's in the middle of the campus, and it was homecoming or something like that. They had local band, and we were featured on ABC Sports or whatever it was. I don't understand the lust for power. I mean, neither. But kid, those big concerts, I don't like playing. I'd rather be in a club. It's nerve-wracking, man. This was an outdoor gig too, and the sound moves. You can't hear yourself. The monitors suck. It's hot. we went on at 11. I think it was 11 in the morning, and we were supposed to play later that night, but politics kicked in, and these bands shifted. But what they didn't know was during the day, and there was a big football game, like home cup, whatever. We got lucky, so everybody was there during the day. By the time they went on at 10 at night, there was like 100 people. Everybody been sunburnt and hungover, drunk, whatever, left. We see, sometimes that comes to bite you in the ass. Because I was pissed. I remember it was like, damn, man, we were supposed to go on at night. Now we're going at 11 in the morning. What the hell? Turned out it was good for us. Grandma's house. KK kept saying it was grandma. Never been in her. Something. I think KK's I know he's a snitch, but and a perv and all. Is he a CI? You think? I think they all are. Okay, I've said this since day one. They're all everybody. The cousin, the father, the son, the this and that and the other thing. I mean, granted, it's my humble opinion, speculation, assumption. Charlie cannot be a Delphi suspect. I'll never believe that. Delphi primetime. Charlie, you talking about me, a Delphi suspect? Yeah, I mean, I was living in LA. Come on. Who the fuck is this? Yeah. But this is the thing. You have to go through everybody. process of elimination. You have to weed out all these fuckers. No, not him, not him. So you can get your bottleneck, so you can find. You know what I mean? Like get to the source. But I didn't get on the Delphi radar until they did that press release with like when they were looking for the Anthony shots. When was that? And like I don't even know. But I'm kind of new to the case. I'd heard about it, you know. I mean, I'm into like conspiracies and Bigfoot and UFOs and Zodiac Killer and Black Dahlia and all that shit. But I don't know much about, you know. So I remember I was up that night. I was living in Arcadia, California, and I remember I happened to see it. You know when how they like refer stuff to your YouTube. Like I saw that because it was at night. And so I was like, oh, well, what is this? And I knew about the Delphi. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so-and-so here. Some guy, you know. So I unfortunately went down that fucking rabbit hole that night. Like, what the heck? See? I remember I was watching, God, because a lot of these people that I used to watch are not around anymore. And the one dude that went to jail, what the hell's his name? Greeno. I remember I watched a lot of his stuff. So whenever that was, I think it was in 2021. It was right before I moved. So from LA. So that's how I got, and then I got hooked, you know what I mean? Like, what in the world? I'm from a small town, so it's like and one of the reasons I'm fascinated by this case was I know there's corruption. I know there's shit going on. I know that, you know, this, that, and other thing. But if you do want to deep dive and know what's really going on, you got to go to another podcast like Sleuth Intuition, Ruckus Rocks, Unresolved Crime, Fig Solves, people like that. I'm not a true crime podcaster. I mean, I you know, I dip my beak, you know, I know, but, you know, but I'm not like I don't know enough about it, but I'm fascinated by it. I hope that they find these fucking bastards. I think there's multiple people. Keith Kellogg. Hey, Charlie, long time I hear for 30 minutes. Well, I'm going to do these like once a week. Pardon me. A little longer than 30 minutes. And you know, my podcast, if you have followed me over there, get an interrogation, Delphi Primetime, get an interrogation room with a phone book and a bright light. Anyone will break sooner or later. You could be right, especially if they're guilty. I had a theory that when they added the word guys down the hill, like, because I was a singer and I taught vocal lessons, the guys, there's a different cadence to that. And I had this theory that perhaps maybe that is taken from another recording. Now I hear that it's not. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that all sounds like, guys, I didn't do this. What are you interviewing me for? You already talked to me, you know? And they added that to the beginning of Down the Hill because guys seems like question mark. Down the hill seems exclamation point. Like down the hill, he's in creep mode. Guys almost sounds like, hey guys, not me, man. You know me. I played football with you. You know, did they record guys in an interrogation room? I don't know. It's a theory I had like a fucking year ago or more. No, you want to learn about the corruption and go to crime night. See, there's so many. I can't keep up with it, man. I'm not up on the case really lately. I never really was. I do my own, I watch this, that, and the other. But I'm just parroting from what other podcasts I've seen. I've done a little bit of online, but no, I'm not a dude. I can't solve little things in my own life. That's another thing that it drives me crazy about the Delphi. These people, man, like, come on. If crime night's good, go for it. Because I don't. For one, I'm too busy doing other things in my life right now, and I would say I just don't. When I did my podcast, I did have the most views when I talked about Delphi. But this is the thing, man. I'm not a misery coattail writer. I don't like to fucking, do just true crime. I could have been more popular if I did. I'm an artist. I don't want to be talking about murder all the time. Delphi Primetime, you have excellent subjective intuition, Charlie. I respect your hunches. Could be. I'm just a schmendrick in front of a laptop. I know about crime because I lived in California for 24 years, and you deal. Come on, man. You get to a certain level too. My low level that I got to, man. That's all it is. Success is dealing with or people that will take care of you. Come on. I mean, shit. You think it's all rainbows and lollipops? It's not. Keep real. Keep it 100%, Charlie Greer. That's all. Again, I'm just look. I'm just doing me. I like doing this podcast. I think it's like therapeutic, but I think that uh um there's people that are better. I literally failed at my podcast. That's why I quit doing it every day. I did like 300 days in a row, and I was like, you know what? Would I watch this podcast? No. Like, shit, I'm horrible. Look at my setup and Tina. Do you, Charlie? That's why we like you. You're not fake. Thank you. And I'm not out to be I mean, I have I could have done better if I'd have done crime. I just can't do it. Tina, you didn't fail. Look, we're all still here with you. Yeah, how many people are here with not that many? And this is my first this is another foray into I never had live stream. The 300 that I never once. I wanted to riff. It was more therapeutic. I did it for my own, again, selfish reasons, narcissistic, whatever. I just wanted to do my thing. I didn't, for one, I have bad eyesight. I have to wear these fucking glasses to read, but since I'm not doing it every day, and I miss everybody because people really did, contact me and they reached out and made me the hat and the t-shirts and the logos and the give me my cash, help me out. I miss everybody. I miss that community. But I didn't well, I realized I wasn't that good at it. Again, I'm going back to, just being honest. There's people a lot better. I smoke like I'm smoking, I'm cursing. Lately I've had a beer. I never drank. Well, when me and Scotty Beers would do like a cooking with Scotty Beers. We would drink, but usually we'd just drink coffee. Now that on Friday, this is like it's my weekend. So on Friday, my last day of the working week, hey, I have a beer on Friday. Like I'm so tired. Here's a funny thing. I'm watching. So when I'm doing this, I can see like the live, what time it is, and there's a little icon that says, I guess, likes, and then how many people are watching. As I'm doing this, my likes have been going down. So either people are like watching and liking it, and then like watching a bit, and going, "Man, fuck this guy." That's another reason why I quit. They're shaving off my likes live, or people are just unliking me. I don't know what is that. Because I'd quit for I did 300 in a row, and then I didn't do any for like 2 months, and then I did an update. Man, when I did that update, they shaved off a bunch of views, and because you can tell how many views you got, well, they shaved them all off. But yeah, I'm seeing this in my they're my likes are going down. Perhaps. Who knows? Who gives a fuck anyway? But yeah, it's a thing. Quite honestly, it is a relief not having to do this every day, and not having. Listen to me, I'm a dumbass. Not having to, because I was in my mindset, I was like, you know what? Because I've always succeeded. I was like, you know what? I'll do this in 6 months to a year. I'll be able to do this for a living. I'll be able to go out, and this, that, and the other. And it didn't happen. And so that pressure I put on myself, it's great that I don't have to. It's like, dude, I can just. And I didn't like living in that small town. I was kid. I've noticed every week you have 2 less subs. Free Charlie Greer. Dude, they shave off every day. I lose. If I'm lucky, about 2, only 2. But there's been days where I just lose, man, a bunch. Yeah, they've been, whatever. It's not even it's an algorithm. Again, I'm smoking. They don't want to promote. I get it. It's not something I'm saying. I'm old. I got gray hair. I smoke. I curse. I click that button. It's not for kids. The algorithm doesn't like that. Maybe have a script, Delphi Prime Time. No, I don't got a script. I don't want to. I used to write scripts. I still have a producer in LA, and they're pitching anyway. But that's another thing. I'll have to either give away a big chunk, or not do anything. Jeff Jones, yes, Tina. Charlie did not fail. Charlie's awesome. Thank you, Jeff Jones. I just do what I do. I like what I like. In Charlie Greer's censorship. Yeah, kind of. And why would they want to? Again, it's an algorithm. It's not a person. It's an algorithm. They don't like. I get it now. Look at my haggard old ass. Who would want to fucking? I'm not on TikTok or Instagram. None of that. I've never tweeted. I kicked the reel. I mean, I got to tell it how it is. I'm not a likable. Come on. Okay, do you think Richard Allen, this is Delphi Prime Time. Okay, do you think Richard Allen is guilty or a fall guy? Both. I think he was called to be humble opinion, speculation, assumption. When you do crime, go watch any kind of mafia movie or this, that, and the other, man. You need fucking danglers. You dangle someone out there. Hey, let him in. The mob used to kill a guy, hide him, take it, cut his hand off, and then keep it in the freezer, and then take it with it and put the fingerprints around. And then once that hand rotted, just throw that away. Oh, that sounds disgusting, but that's true. That's old too. Shit. Again, this is nothing new. Yeah, Richard Allen. I don't know much about. I mean, to me, he doesn't look like Bridge Guy. Bridge Guy. I don't even think Bridge Guy is real. I think that's fake. I think that a lot. Again, you don't want to know. I can't say what I think, but I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff's fake. I think it's a crime within a crime, maybe. I think there's more crime involved in this crime. Key Kellogg, I smoke also, Charlie. I drink. Hey, I got to have some bad habits, right? Yeah, I get it. In this world we're living in, shit. It's perilous fucking. I got a feeling the CEO of YouTube's an ex of your. Well, one of my exes is now clicked up with a studio head. I used to date some I can't say, yeah. I used to date ex rock stars, wives, and shit. I mean, well, I got jumped by. I've been jumped before. Okay, Kellogg, you got it. Bridge guy's 100% fake. There's something that's not right about the I don't know. A lot of this Delphi stuff. Again, I just don't. This is what you do to cover up a crime, which it's strange that these girls. What is it that they? There seems like there's is this a bigger sting operation going on? I don't know. Seems to me. I don't know what was, it just like, again, look through history, how crime is set up, how dangle people out to set up people. I think some people are catching on too. I just don't get where they it doesn't make any sense. After years, and they'd add one word and another sketch that looks nothing like anybody, and that's the guy in that one Doug Carter. He might be in the room. Who does that? Have you ever seen? You know how harsh that? I mean, come on, think about how it's a shit show. It doesn't make any sense. It I hate to laugh, okay? But man, again, I'm not a Delphi podcaster. I'm fascinated with the case. Like with the Zodiac killer, because I followed that since I was like a teenager. I read every book, and these old investigators before they died admitted, like, well, dang, if we hadn't been so narcissistic and just egotistical, because they wouldn't share information, because the killer would do killings in different counties. He must have known, and then they realized that if we'd have just like been normal and good people, we could have solved it. It's that stupid. It's not a conspiracy. It's psychology, human behavior. Motherfuckers are just narcissistic. They're dumbass. Did you tell me? That kind of shit. I don't know. I don't trust cops. Yeah. I can't say why, but I don't. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust a lot of people. Be careful who you trust. No one has a bigger ego than a cop. Yeah. Yeah. Take off that badge and that fucking uniform, that monkey suit, clown outfit, and that gun, whatever. Come on. Men are men. You think that see, I've changed my life. I've softened a bit. A lot. Okay. I mean, holy shit. I've been beaten up by cops. So I mean, but that was back in the day. That's when I was, you don't want to get. I've said too many things. Watch some of my other. I've done more. That I've gotten high with cops. Come on. Back in the day, I beat up a cop. That's no big deal. That's like 101. This is freshman shit. Charlie, should we build the wall? I have no fucking idea, man. Is a wall gonna? They'll tear down a fucking wall. Yeah, come on, man. I used to buy my weed from a cop. Well, yeah, hello. Yeah, we softened it with aid. Yeah, I'm lucky to be alive. I mean, everybody that I used to are dead. And the strange thing is I was the worst of the worst. He's oh my God, he's dangerous. Shit, I'm still kicking. But I've also had cops help me out. I've gotten a fight. Well, I can't say much, but I got in this fight, and then I was in an ambulance, and so was the other guy. And and this is in LA. Like the deputy sheriff shows up, and they're like, "Let him go," because they're gonna take me to the hospital, you okay? And I had I had a thumb. I got my thumb broken. That's another thing, man. Watch out when you grab a thumb and break it. And your thumb's broken, you're done for. I don't care how big. If you watch MMA fighters when they're against uh, and their hands and they're doing this little thing, that's where they're trying to break a thumb. You break a thumb, man, it hurts so bad. I've had both my thumbs broken twice. Okay, look, I'm not a tough guy. But that's a thing. So I was in the ambulance and they're like stitching up my thumb. It was dangling basically, and they're like, "Let this guy go." They did. So like, thank you, LAPD. Um, Charlie, did you ever think Delphi Primetime? Did you ever think of things from your long lost past out of nowhere? Things that you remembered for decades. Oh, what did you try? Did you ever think of things from your long lost past out of nowhere? Delphi Primetime. Yeah, I think about it a lot. Yeah, shit. Do you? Uh, yeah, because I've lived the life of 1,000 fucking men. I didn't want to own things. I wanted to live life. I ran the streets of LA for 24 fucking years. I didn't think the world would change. I didn't think I would change. My dad died in front of me when I was like 17, so I was like, "Get fuck you." I was mad at the world. I was just going. You know, I'm lucky to be alive. Lucky. And I didn't think I should have saved money. I should have bought more real estate and shit. Um, should have, I shouldn't have sold all my silver when I had, whatever. You make mistakes. I don't have any regrets. I mean, a little regret, but not like, shit. I had so much fun. How much fun I've had. How many women shit. Yeah, these people fucking, pardon me. It's hard for me to relate to people because they've lived these normie, pencil pushing fucking lives. They've never grabbed life by the taint or, I've had a strange life. One night, I was at the Rainbow of all places on Sunset Boulevard back in the day, having this is honest to God truth, have a conversation with Tony Curtis, old school, big, huge, and Joey Buttafuoco. Joey Buttafuoco, who's actually a nice guy. How the fuck does that happen? Huh? What? See? Shit. Every night I was out. Since there's people that think I'm still that kind of person that are like, oh, you don't get, they stutter when if I was, yeah, the old saying, if I knew I would live as long as I would have taken care of it. Yeah, me too. I'm in great considering what I've been through. Well, shit, I'm fucking Superman. I can't believe, thank you, Jesus. Damn. Yeah, it's weird that because I have problems. I have health issues, but fuck, I should have been dead 1,000. Um, well, I've had people. I can't say. I've had people die. Shit that did less than me. That were like not even on the. He's dead. Well, fuck, better him than me. Shit, I didn't care. I hate to say that. Well, yeah, man. Hey, dude. Everybody's a tough guy until they run into one. Let me tell you that. That's another thing. Has nothing to do with your size or that. It's your fucking mental in your eye. You know how to stare someone in the face. I'm telling you, dude. I've seen little dudes mow through motherfuckers. Friendly guys that are like, hey, you don't want to fuck around. A pregnant woman in LA pushing a stroller will kick 10 dudes' asses. Come on. Hey, I'm gonna grab another beer. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, y'all. I've never stepped away from my podcast, but I do them longer now, so had to grab a beer. Take a shot, Keith Kellogg. Take a shot for me. Um, but yeah, people have different. My likes keep going down. So people have different lifestyles, and they have different like inspiration and what they want to do. You know, well, hell, I wanted to conquer the fucking world. I just wanted. I didn't want people to tell me what to do. I want to experience things. I realized after my dad died in front of me, man, we only got one life. People, for some reason, people have this like they got more time, or they're gonna do. No, you don't, man. Time's a fucking ticking. And I wanted to do things. I'd set goals, and I would just do them. You know, they treat us like something because we smoke. If you don't realize, not long ago you could smoke in an airplane. I've smoked on airplanes back in the day. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm an old man. Fuck, I used to love to smoke on a plane. Shit, they used to have little ashtrays on the arm. Yeah. Yeah, Tove can't go. Yeah, oh shit. Yeah. Perhaps. Pardon me. Yeah. I mean, look, I love Indiana. 93, maybe it was 94. So I lived in Champaign, Urbana, Illinois, which is like the University of Illinois. That's where my band Love Engineer, you know, we released a CD in 92. So we did we were supposed to have another album. Anyway, so we would play in Danville, Illinois. And I think that's the last major town before you get Indiana. It's my brain. And again, a lot of beers ago. So we would play Terre Haute, Indiana. I played a big state fair in Indiana. I loved Indiana. What's the other town we played? Fuck, there's another town in Indiana that we play. We were on a Champaign Urbana. We would play Milwaukee, Detroit, St. Louis, Chicago, Indianapolis. Maybe it's Indianapolis. I don't know. Shit. I just remember I played. Matter of fact, one of my last gigs with Love Engineer was either in Danville or Terre Haute. It was a benefit for a biker at a big hall. Chewed. Kid, every time Charlie says perhaps, take a shot. Well, but dude, I say that a lot. You'll be ossified, wasted, drunk. Perhaps you will. See, I did map out some of the things when I was doing my podcast because you can go back. I did 300 in a row. There's like a year worth of fucking shit so you can go back if you're just, you don't know, you can watch all this shit. Some are better than others. So I knew that you have to have my intro. Well, there you are again. All that today. I knew you have to repetitive. Go. It's like I knew this from my band. You had to have it. Yeah, I don't act like that. I'm not the grocery store saying that, but it's almost like here's Johnny. You have to have something that people will remember, and they have. And it was deliberately. Let's see. Oh my God, this is Scotty Beers. Scotty Beers. Dude, I'm live streaming right now. Yeah. Hang up and check it out. Yeah, Scotty Beers on the phone. Yeah, all right, man. Cheers. I love you. All right, bye-bye. That was Scotty Beers. So Scotty Beers is going to hang up. Oh, he did, of course. He hung up, so he's going to. Well, now he's going to watch the. I miss Scotty Beers, and we have cooking with Scotty Beers. That's still a thing. We're trying to. We have different, shit. He's gonna join here, hopefully. He's like a brother to me. Never had a brother. Scotty is like I can't even remember. We met so young. I don't even remember before I knew Scotty. You know, Scotty Beers, what a cool name. That ain't his real name. Well, see. Anyway, um, he's smart. Shit, he's not Charlie Greer. Dumbass, my dumb motherfucker. But this is the thing. I couldn't use. I'm known enough. I can't. They would be like, "Well, that's Charlie Greer." I couldn't be like, Super Deluxe or somebody because that his dumbass is trying to. You know what I mean? I've done. I made my bed. I got to lay in it, man. I made my bed. I got to fuck in it, kind of thing. What am I gonna do? I wanted to. It'd have been worse if I'd have tried to. Shit. It'd have been worse. And I have like, I've had LLCs. I've had like a film company. I've had, what else have I had? I've had well, I have a book out. I have albums out. I have like, my screen act shit. I've got fucking like life insurance policies and shit. You know, even through the SAG Screen Actors Guild, I've got like people that'll whatever when I die, they're gonna get my shit. Well, it ain't much anymore, but Scotty Beers. My real last name isn't even my real last name. It's a long story. Right, Scotty? Yeah. His real first name is Beers. So I don't Hey man, give some love to Scotty Beers. So we've known each other for shit. And Scotty Beers is, well, his real name is, well, one of his maybe you should change your name there. He's the best cook I've ever. He's a chef. Okay. I've eaten at like fucking private parties and mansions and shit like that. And Scotty is the best cook. We've always been into cooking. Hence the reason we fucking do Scotty Beers. But we were always like, instead of like, even when we were younger, instead of like having a blow up party, like this huge, yeah, no, we wanted to have like a smaller gathering. We're cooking, we're drinking, smoking some herb. That's what we were all about. Always. There was none of this like cocaine, none of that. I mean, maybe we're like, we visit that world because we were, with me being in the band and stuff, we got to dip our beaks and get invited to stuff. And even when I moved to well, shit. Jeff Jones, my previous employer, didn't care that I had a bottle of whiskey out all the time, constantly swigging it. Well, yeah, that's a good fucking, Scotty, you're a friend of Charlie, you're a friend of ours. Yeah. He's a brother. I mean, he's like family. His mother is like my second mother, I love them. I'm going to see them soon. In a couple of weeks, I'm going back to, like I can call Scotty and be like, look, he's the only one that I can call. Ruckus rocks. What's up, Ruckus? I can call Scotty. I can call Ruckus actually too. I can be like Scotty. Like there's him too. There's you only need one friend, like a ride and die. Or like, you know what? You don't explain yourself. I'm dropping what I'm doing. I'm there. You need that in your life, right? We all make, you know what I mean? Like somebody you can just like you tell your secrets to. And your regrets and like, oh my God, because Scotty knows he could write a book. We weren't always good cooks. Scotty says that we weren't always, but we always enjoyed trying. That's what I mean. It all started with Pasquale. Yeah, we used to, the singing chef, dude, Discovery Channel. We used to, that's our thing. We'd watch, this sounds geeky. And this is in the 80s, maybe. We would watch these cooking shows when everybody else is doing all this stuff. We're like, what the fuck? We were into cooking. We're foodies. And in great shape. We just like love to, cook. And again, it was about creating that. it's almost like we're Italian or something, or we're both Scottish. And it goes back to our heritage. Like, hey, man, create that moment. Good people, fun, girls, because me and Scotty back in the day, dude, you don't have to, fuck. Call me anytime, Ruckus. You know that you too, Ruckus. Ruckus is the only YouTuber that's got my number. That's how much I like Ruckus. And we've known each other. Well, it's going on a while. I trust Ruckus. Ruckus is good people. And what I love about Ruckus is he's got we bust balls. We go at each other. If you heard us talk, because he goes from that world. We get each other. Well, you son of a fuck you, asshole, you scumbag. That's what it, I remember the first time I met Ruck, we were on a podcast together, I don't even know what the fuck, because it might have been Unresolved Crime, because there was a couple times they asked me, because I've been asked I'd never do it. I haven't been on Ruckus. Ruckus, I'm coming on your podcast, bro. I just wanted to be my own island. I didn't want to. So somehow I was drinking. I got called in. I went on. I didn't know it was a live stream. And it was me, Ruckus, Frank, and there was a few people there. And I didn't. I go. And they told me, like, dude, we're going live. I was like, what the fuck? That's how stupid I am. That's how I don't know. Again, there's certain things I know, and there's another. I'm just a dumbass. I don't technical streaming. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I thought it was like a Discord. I think that's what it was. I thought it was in a Discord. Yeah, that's where I met Ruckus. And they were giving me and Ruckus, shit, because we were joking around. Like, they were like, well, you guys are, huh? What? You don't even, that's why him and I connected, because it was like, this is nothing. Like, it's separated. That's a funny thing. I'd never met Ruckus. And then all these windows were open, whatever. And then me and Ruckus and these other people were like, dude, we didn't even say anything. You don't even know. And I didn't even know Ruckus. And we were both like, dude, you don't even know. And we were busting each other's balls. You know what I mean? Like, making fun. That's what we do. That's where me and Scotty Beers. Man, me and Scotty Beers, it's just like, you dumbass. Like, I mean, come on, that's what you do. That's what friends do. I like to laugh. And also I have a sense of humor where nothing is sacred. Is it too no, yes. I'm gonna make fun of people. Booze, fun, and girls. That's what sums up what the 80s, me and Scotty. You not believe the girls. It's not like that anymore though, right, Scotty? Shit. Sucks. But we're old, man. And we both had these hair. We had hair. Scotty had this great, me too, like a mane, and we were svelte, and all rock star clothes and shit. None of that anymore, Perhaps, maybe in the future, but hey, I'm lucky to have had, and I got to give credit to my mom. So my mom and Scott's mom, Mama Beers, let us get away with murder, basically. I mean, shit. They were so cool, and they still are. We're lucky that we both have our mothers. They supported us. They let us. We had crazy ideas. I wouldn't be who I am without my mother, who's a badass, and so and Mama Beers too. Let us have like. I mean, I don't even know if I should say what they're awesome. Just you always accepted us, showing up in gorilla suits, drunk, and it was a different time. Anyway, perhaps we wouldn't say much, but I'm needing a wig these days. Scotty, let's get you a wig, man. Let's get you. Me too. Just go peacocking around in a wig. Woo! Where could we do that though? But my mom, bless her heart, um, she left us a house, and we were like, what, 17 or 18? Um, like, look, you guys, she owned the house, big house. You guys take it. I'm going to what I'm gonna do, and my sister too. My sister, and well, hell, we had the most fun you could ever imagine. Matter of fact, Scotty and I are kind of still stuck in that. We had so much fun and had so many experiences. It's hard to explain. We'd have 3 or 4 a day. Forget about in a year. It just, you would not believe. And we were trying to get into bands. Scotty, he was a family man. He was a military guy, so he got his beautiful shit. He was a military dude. That's what he did. Like, he was smart enough to sober up, but he got married, and I'm the godfather of his kids. But man, I was on a hell. Him and I had different paths because I just seen my dad die in front of me at home, and I was stuck. He was dead there. Man, it took him like an hour for the ambulance to show up. My dad's dead. Like, that changes you, man. That to this day, and I wanted to do a lot of stuff, and I was full of piss and fucking vinegar, you know. But yeah, good times. I miss those days. I mean, shit. Grown men in their 30s would come to our house like, what the fuck? Like, our friend, we were like teenagers. And these dudes are coattail riding off of us. We'd already, matter of fact, from that area where we're from, there's a circle of people that are involved that from me and Scotty and my sister to this day, they have, see, we kind of moved away, and we had started this kind of scene. And we get no credit. These people, other people don't keep in touch. And they kind of badmouth you too. Like, what the fuck? Huh? Like, you lived at my house and I never even been to your house. Ruckus says, I have another live to do. I'll catch you later. I'll text you. Let's do it live. So let's do one, Ruckus. Yeah, for sure. I've been wanting to do one with you, Ruckus. So yeah, let's do one. We'll set one up. I'll text you. Thank you. Check out Ruckus Rocks. But yeah, we well, shit, we were, the house we lived in. It's weird how things happen. Like, the house we lived in, me, Scotty, and my sister, Jenny, who's passed, bless her heart. She didn't get enough credit, my sister. Even bands, like, she set up. It drives me crazy that people don't talk about her, about how she kind of initiated this scene. And she was beautiful, and these guys are wanting to, get with my sister, like, you motherfucker, and she was totally cool. She loved Scotty. She didn't get the due credit that she absolutely. Thank you, Ruckus. Yeah, we'll talk later. Let's do a live, perhaps. So yeah, so my sister was like, cool. I don't even know if people exist like her anymore. But how I got into like how my band elevated was my sister. Like, these people are like trying to get her attention, and she would actually defer and go like, "Hey, my brother's in a band, and I'll you can open for my band," So my sister would literally like, and man, it breaks my heart that she didn't get the credit. Would get us these club gigs. My first major club gig was my sister got us, and other bands too, other dudes that never. Do you think on their Facebook they'd be like, "Oh, posting pictures of her, Jenny Greer"? None of that, man. It pisses me off that she didn't get her due fucking respect. And to this day, these people know each other because of my sister. Damn, she should have gotten a management, lucky that and we were, again, it goes back. Jenny was like Scotty Beer says, Jenny was like an unofficial manager promoter. Yes. Yes. Careers to this day. People have fucking careers because my sister started that spark little, what I mean? You got to go back. See, you got to, people, oh, yeah, they act different now. That's one thing that people like about me is I don't change. I've never done that. I've always brought people along. I've always been that dude. I don't fucking change. I mean, sometimes I've disappeared, you know, but I never dog people out. I never talk shit about people that help me out. That again, shit. That's people are different, But Jenny, my sister Jenny, was bless her heart, man. Love you, Jenny. She just had a birthday this month, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. That was her birthday. She would have been 54. But yeah, a bunch of bands would not be shit. They'd probably be still looking for a gig if it went for my sister. And she didn't even ask anything about it. It was just like no big deal. She was just, it was like, you should manage my band. No, she didn't want. Good time. We can't even, you want not even, again, certain people are lawyers, certain people are priests, some people are plumbers. I was a creative guy, wanted to be in a band. And luckily I had a circle around my sister, Scotty Beers, my mother, Mama Beers. Like they kind of like let us. My granted, they're like, God damn it, you better get your shit. They comes with a little bit of tough love. But at the end of the day, they let I couldn't have done it without them. Scotty too. Scotty doesn't get the credit that he knows everybody. He knew every come on. Yeah. But it's an arduous task, this life, especially a creative life. And there's all this like I've never been that like again, there's competition, but I've never been that competitive. I just let my music do the talking. I let my art. There's all this weird, even people in my own band. That's why even people in my band like want to, I don't get it. I've had people try to, I'm not gonna name names, but like behind my back try to, take my name, try to like, go to the Library of Congress, even like to try to steal and they don't. I mean, I've already got it. Like, and then I didn't even know till the Library of Congress. Like, hey, so and so tried to get your copyright. I went, what the fuck? You know how much I've done for this cocksucker? He did what? And then you never hear. They won't talk to you again. Like that backstabbing shit. People you thought were your friend. Well, see, that's the thing. You get calloused. You get jaded. You're owed money. Help me produce my album, sing on my album. We'll pay you. You get the daily fee, and then you're owed money. You never get it. Write an album for half an album for someone. Don't even get credited when it comes out. They steal your stuff. And it's just, I'm drinking a Bush beer. Bush. You know what I'm drinking, Scotty Beer. Shit. But he's probably thinking, man, Ice House. I love Ice House. I can't find it. Perhaps I need to find some. But Bush is a cleaner. For one, I only drink like, when I moved, I didn't drink for over a month. Because me and Scotty would have beers like a couple times a week. Then I moved. Then I didn't drink at all. I quit smoking herb. I haven't smoked herb in 3 months. No herb. Because I've been busy just trying to ask Scotty. I changed my life. Don't say what I'm doing, Scotty. Also, Bush is a clean burn. I don't know if you know what you're talking about, but like A lot of these, I like these ghetto strong. Pardon me, like these. I'm a street guy. I used to be. There's things are hard to change certain things, but man, you can't burn it out of your system. Meaning, stays with you a couple of days. Bush, it's shit, done, burnt out, gone. You don't have to wake up the next morning. Hey, but yeah, the uh, it boils down to what you want to do with your life, and the decisions you make, like like when I started, you start like with my bands. I started like cover bands. You don't know you're fucking a kid. You're playing like "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" by Night. Don't tell me you love me, like you're doing like Night Ranger covers and Ozzy, Mr. Crowley. You're a cover band. You're all over the place. Cream and all this shit, Led Zeppelin. Well, this is what I did. So start writing your own tunes. I was in like bands or like whatever, and then I started learning how to write a tune. Well, they couldn't again. It's not easy, but like they'd quit. Like shit, is this what I got to do? I was like, we got to be in the basement or a rehearsal hall, and it's like, trudge it out. You have to go for it. Like write a tune. They didn't want to do that. They became like librarians and fucking whatever. Um, hold on. Let's see what this is. Scotty Beer says, "I look like someone. I looks like I somehow killed your thriving live chat. I'm bowing out and just oh, Scotty Beers, come on, man. It's an ebb and flow. It's an ebb and flow. Maybe they're jealous and like, oh, who this? I'm about to stop this anyway. I've been going up like what, an hour and 45 minutes. Shit. But perhaps again, that was all right. Let's get back to like, off topic here. But perhaps again, I'm not gonna be doing my live stream about Delphi. That's not what I do. This is what we do, a riff, about all kinds of stuff. I am gonna go on Ruckus Rocks. I know that I'm not up on the Delphi like he is or other people. That's how I met him. And I don't want to be a true crime podcaster, man. Hey, man, hats off. It's not a good or bad thing. It just is. I'm not good at it. I do have, though, a lot of insight to crime because I've had to live an outlaw life sometimes. Not outlaw. See that? Let me explain that. You're living, you want to be an artist. You're living in Los Angeles. You're doing art shows. You're trying to be an actor. This, that. Yeah, you got, a band. You are on the streets running, and you flipping cars, and never was a drug dealer, none of that. But you run up fucking gallery owners and management companies. They're criminals. I had to admit it, but they all come from that world. A lot of big producers in Hollywood were drug dealers, and they had to, they could, they had to shift gears and and that's what they do. They finance movies. It's not what you think, people. It's not all rainbows and lollipops. I've said that 1,000 times. It's crime. Crime fucking pays. That's what it is. You like, oh no, we're all that. None of that. Matter of fact, all the system is set up to protect this secret thing. I'll never snitch. I mean, granted, I'm kind of telling about it, but I never, you know, and there's a lot, and I've talked about this with. I was censoring myself the 300 days I did my podcast. I was censoring myself. I couldn't even say what I want to say. That's why I wanted enough money to get my own server and be able to like tell you what I know, but I can't because I can't like they're shaving as we were doing that they've shaved off a bunch of likes even today, and it's stupid. And then a lot of stuff I won't say, but because I've never killed anybody or you know um, I've known people that have shit. Fuck, I mean, dumbasses or not know. Anyway, it's a long story. It's not what you think. People will fall for it every time. They think that like, oh yeah, I'm a a loyal, kind of respectable person in the society. Well, yeah, yeah, right. You especially when you get into like entertainment, politics, business. Well, you have to or hire somebody to do. You're either going to do it or hire somebody. It's better to hire somebody. It's all a racket, all of it. Um, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm out of here, man. I'm getting out of here. I love y'all. I'll be back like maybe next Friday. I'm definitely going to go on Ruckus's podcast. We'll figure it out. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.